Hey everybody, this is Justin Townsend with Harvesting Nature, and I'm here at the Lost Creek Hunting Ranch in North Texas. We use Lost Creek Ranch for our wild pig camps, which we host a couple times a year. I also have a slew of exotic animals as well that you can hunt. What I have in front of me here is a wild pig that we shot last night that we're going to be using for camp meat for our camp coming up at the end of this week. And what I want to do is kind of walk you through a little bit of kind of some of the cuts, what they're good for, and why we want to approach cooking wild game from the method of cooking by cut. Traditionally, wild game is going to be a bit leaner than your store-bought meat, just because it's not exposed to the same elements that you'll get in like domestic meat and things like that. So you do have to take some precautions when cooking it because you don't want to dry it out. It's not as forgiving with the lack of fat. If you take a pork loin from the store and a wild pork loin, fundamentally the cut's the same. And you can do a lot of the same things with it. Like for instance, the loin here, which will run from the top here down to the shoulders, that's going to be something that you could break out and you could cut it into steaks, get it on the grill, sear it, high heat. You can almost do the same recipes you could with a domestic pork loin. Just understanding, pay attention to the temp so you don't overcook it. Another good example is you've got the front shoulder here. So the front shoulder is divided up into several cuts, but it's something you can also cook slow. You could braise it, you could sear it and then slow cook it, you could roast it, you could smoke it. Then you get back here in the back quarter, you can break down these seam cuts and those can be made into roast or steaks. See this portion here on this back quarter and this portion here on the front, that's your shanks. That's something that you can take and braise and slow cook, and that meat fall apart is just amazing. One of my favorite cuts of meat. And on the inside, you get the tenderloins here. Super, super tender cut of meat. That's something you want to throw on the grill or in a very hot cast iron. Don't forget your neck. You can do like neck roast where you're taking the whole neck and you're braising it and roasting it. And of course, a lot of people overlook the head. The head has a lot of edible components in it. You get the tongue, you get a lot of good meat here in the cheeks. That stuff is really great. Once you have this whole animal and you're bringing it back from the field, you want to say, what's the best way that I can utilize these cuts? What are the ways in which I can make it edible, consumable, that I can enjoy it? So just cooking by cuts is the way to do that. And it's common too. You know, you pull the cut off, learn what the name of the cut is, go on the internet, research a recipe that you like, go to Harvesting Nature, look at a recipe there, and then you're cooking by that cut versus just having a generalized approach to it. You'll end up enjoying your meat much, much more.